on the night here in the MSAC. We had an unbelievable championship between the Frisch and the Magen Yeshiva Warriors. It's 10 a.m. on a Friday morning. We have just as much of a minute to see what a beautiful game tonight between Frisch and Magen. How special is it to see some game, Jack, in the quarterfinals of Saturday?
Yeah, you know, Frisch a little underseeded at the 6th seed. People were questioning it because of the fact that they didn't make the championship after an upset win over DRS in the Yeshiva League semis. So usually you see these special games on Sunday and Monday, but we get a pre-Shabbos special between the two Yeshiva League championship participants. And you know, this is the third time they're playing. Magen David took both games, so we'll see what the third leg of this matchup has in store.
Well, it's an unbelievable game of the championship, wasn't it?
Yeah, Frisch had the lead most of the way. They were up by 6 with under 6 to go. Magen David, including overtime, went on a 20-2 run to end the game. They won the game by 10 in overtime, and it really was a thriller.
And it really was. And Frisch and Magen David, they've had throughout the year these unbelievable games that go down to the wire. Frisch in the semifinal game against DRS, who we'll see later today on Max Live, came back from down 6 with 20 seconds left. So no game is too lopsided for any team to come back. It's going to be great. Now we get specifically to the players, and you know there are X factors on both sides. Let's start with Frisch, Jack. Who do you think is a key player for Frisch coming down in this game?
Stevie Paul. I spoke to some of the Frisch players before the game. They said they worked the offense through Stevie at the high post. He's going to be the one that they want to take it to the hole. They don't want him to shoot it from mid-range. They want him to get inside. So for Frisch, it's got to be Stevie Paul at the high post. And for Magen David, you got anyone for me?
Well, for Magen David, this guy Teddy Shama, 413 points this season. He's going to be an X factor, and we're going to be back for the start of this game. It's going to be very exciting. Stay with us on Max Live. Frisch, Magen David, quarterfinal Sarachek. What would you choose? I know what I chose in high school when I was back in the day. It's Malé. Off the backboard and in. And something about these athletic Magen David players, they just seem to put everything up and it all goes in.
Yeah, that was a strong take off the backboard. It looked like he threw it too hard, but he knows what he's doing there, Max.
Unbelievable play. Very athletic. And here's Blumenthal who checks in for his first few minutes. And it's Moshe Schoenfeld. Stevie Paul working in the post, back out. Meyerhoff, another corner three. No good. And Nasiri the rebound, but they're going to call a foul on Malé down low. Jack Stebner has barely touched the ball, Jack, today.
Yeah, we spoke about in the pregame. He had a great semifinal game against DRS. The championship was a low-scoring game, so both teams, the stats weren't so pretty, but he did lead the team with 10 points. So he's definitely going to be a key factor on offense, and as I say that,
he misses, but Stevie Paul's been really good today, and he puts in his first bucket. And Stevie Paul's been really active, both just on the ball right there and also off the ball, just moving around, getting to the paint.
Yeah, both guys are very underratedly tall, taller than you think, because of the skill set that they both possess. And on that play, Stevie showed off his mid-range game.
Look at that wingspan on Paul. And now it's Nasiri for Magen David and a three, which is no good by Notkin. And he hasn't been able to get into the rhythm. And now it's Stepner. Stepner back out to Merrill. They're going to set the shot clock, a Frisch rule. Right, the Benny Tuckman rule. Stevie Paul, get inside, lays it in. Strong move to the basket by Stevie. And 4 3 points for him, and now Frisch all of a sudden has the lead.
You speak about the Benny Tuckman rule. The same thing happened in the championship this year when Frisch held the ball for the last 2.5 minutes in the championship at the end of regulation, which ended up backfiring on them.
Yes, it did.
They won't be able to do that today.
No, they will not. Good rules here, Sarachek. It's the real game here. And it goes up, and it's finally rebounded by Blumenthal. And here comes Schoenfeld. They don't give it to him. He was open a little bit on the break. But they'll settle, and Stepner, a transition three. No good. Shama the rebound. Teddy gets another board. He's been a little active on the defensive boards. Let's see if he can get some points.
Yeah, you know Teddy Shama wants to be the leader of this team, the senior, a younger core than most. Nasiri only a sophomore, Notkin a junior. So it's a young core, but Teddy leading the charge as the senior.
Oh, what a play there by Notkin. Unbelievable move in the post. And this is a JV team. Magen David as a JV team last year won the championship, and so maybe they're young, but they're definitely talented, and they won the Yeshiva League championship this year. It's Blumenthal, the top of the key, gives it to Merhoff. Schoenfeld, the little guy in the post, and it's just easily taken away by the bigger Mizrahi, and then it's going the other way. And oh, what an interception by Blumenthal. Blumenthal now Merhoff, and they're going to run. Merhoff sets for three. No good. Paul tips it up, and it's Notkin. And then it's taken by Nasiri. Nasiri back to Notkin. Notkin. They're going to call an offensive foul on Notkin. And what do you think about that call, Jack?
Well, I can tell you one thing. Isaac Blumenthal has been a force on the defensive end. Back-to-back possessions. First, he had the steal, and then he drew the charge. So it's back-to-back possessions off the bench. And now Magen David will go to their bench.
Yes, checking in is Joe Dayan. I'm sure in his ancestry they had a lot of judges. There's Blumenthal. Noam Kritsky checks in for Frisch. And Blumenthal, they give it straight to Kritsky in the corner. Gives it back to Blumenthal at the top of the key, and then Paul in the post. He puts it up. No hesitation, but misses. And Mizrahi, another big rebound.
That's
Shama.
travel, probably.
And they're going to call a travel.
On that possession, that's exactly what Daniel Hirsch told me in the pregame. I don't want to call anyone out, but Daniel Hirsch, a player for Frisch, he was telling me that they love when Stevie Paul drives to the hoop. It's a totally different team. When he shoots the ball from the elbow, it's not as effective. And there he missed that shot. But when he gets inside and gets closer to the rim, Frisch is very hard to stop.
100%. But, you know, that great post action between the two guys, Stepner and Paul, is definitely something that is a factor for Frisch if they want to win this. It's Stepner. What a pass inside of Blumenthal, but he's too short on that. Magen David with this 1 point lead with 1:20 left, and they're going to bring it up the ball.
The juniors in this ball game for both teams, they've split the JV championships. Frisch won 2 years ago, and Magen David won last year. This Frisch varsity team, the seniors, they won the first 3 years championships until this year. So this is a rivalry, especially for the juniors, but even obviously when you play each other in the championship, leads to familiarity, if that's how you pronounce that word.
It is. Raymond Jajadi takes the ball now for Magen David. The point guard checking in. And Jajadi, the pull-up. No good, but Mizrahi a rebound. No one's as big as him. But he misses, and then Paul picks up the rebound. But you got to you gotta like put a lot of guys on Mizrahi. He's just bigger than everyone else out there. It's Blumenthal. Across to Koritsky, a wide open three. Oh, he cans it. Noam Koritsky from downtown, and Frisch takes a 2-point lead.
Wide open. The defense collapsed on the inside, and they let Koritsky, the shooter. Mike, I know you have a good relationship with Noam, not just in the pregame meetings, but extends a little bit further than that.
We're not going to get so personal on the air, but Magen David, they're not going to take that three personally. You're going to try to score 5 in the first quarter. It's Shama all the way, and he puts it in. A bank shot. And again, they don't look like they're getting those good shots, but they just get it in. And at the end of the first quarter, it's Magen David 11, Frisch 11. A good one here in the max.
Yeah, I got it. I'll talk about it. Are we on?
Come back after commercial.
I know.
The Yeshiva University Maccabees are Skyline champions.
My name is Masha Schaller. I am studying English.
I'm Jack Antra alongside Michael Hurt. 11-11 first quarter, pretty well played if you ask me. And you know, one of the key players from that first quarter was Michael Natkin, the MVP of the championship. And you know where he spent his summers?
Where?
Step It Up basketball camp. Albert Nassiri is also attending the camp this summer, the sophomore who's looked great. And for Frisch, you look at Max Mayeroff and Judd Strulitz, as you call him. Maybe you're a little closer than I don't know him that well. I just call him Judah. But
Judd.
he is also, so Step It Up. A lot of great players in this game. Something to watch in a camp that definitely should interest.
Unbelievable. Whenever you hear a guy go to step it up, they really do step it up the next year. And we're seeing it tonight. Premier players really stepping it up today so far. It's a tie game and a great one here in the Max Stern Athletic Center. It's Jajati. And then another new check-in. It's Victor Braca. You got to look out for him, the 8th player to get out for the Magen David Warriors. He shoots a 3 right away. No good. He's got to, make sure he finds his direction finder, but he'll get it. He'll get hot. For Frisch, it's the same 5, and it's very interesting how we see the development of who gets in and out and how much of depth are each team's willing to utilize.
And for Frisch, you saw in that possession, they went into a zone defense, a 1-3-1. And according to our great sideline reporter, I don't know if it's Sam Eisenstadt or Jacob Dower, one of them is telling us to look for traps in the corners for Frisch in this zone defense. So it's going to be a 1-3-1 zone. It's Sam Eisenstadt giving us that report. But look for them to trap the corners if they get it in to those corners.
That's great analysis. It's Jajati. And then it's Dayan who fumbles it. Braca. He takes it out. And it's Nassiri. Nassiri just, he really controls the offense here for Magen David. A nice zip pass to Mizrahi inside. He's fouled by Blumenthal, and they'll show 2.
Mizrahi is a big force inside, but Frisch, they've seen him play multiple times, so they definitely have a game plan on how to stop him. The question is if they have the bodies to do it.
Yeah, well, Jack Levine would have been great down low for them. Now it's just Judge Strulitz. We haven't seen him in a while in foul trouble, and that is definitely something that we have to look into, how Coach Joe Schwartz will put him back in, when he will, if he will. And it's Mizrahi now. He hits 1. And we'll see if he can hit the second. He does it, and that's Mayeroff the rebound. Is Frisch tired? Do they look tired with not many subs being utilized?
Well, one of the questions you have to ask is they played the last game of the night yesterday, and now they threw him back here at 10 in the morning, less than around the 12-hour break exactly between games. Now what you're looking for, these teams are usually much more well-rested. So with that, and as you mentioned, not a lot of players playing for Frisch, that is definitely something to watch as this game wears on.
For sure, and You know, for Magen David, they're telling me that about this 10 a.m. start, which is definitely controversial for a Yeshiva League championship, but it works. They're like, we just don't want to go to Westchester. We want to stay in YU. And Meyerhoff wants to stay in YU too. A big three, his third of the night. And the fans like it. It's a 2-point lead for Frisch. The Jajati gives it in to Nasiri, and they'll see what they can do with 6 minutes to go in the half, and Frisch up 2. It's Jajati. A nice little trap defense by Frisch out there.
Yeah, Stevie Paul at the top of a 1-3-1 zone is perfect. The long arms, it just makes everything tough for the offense.
But Nasiri says right back, it's a 1-point lead now for Magen David. What a 3 by him. And it's Meyerhoff. He wants to answer back. He's been on fire.
The way you break a zone is to hit shots, and that's exactly what Nasiri does. It's going to be tough for them to get inside as they sit back Frisch, but Magen David has no trouble if they can hit those threes.
Meyerhoff decides to drive, and they call a foul.
A foul on Magen David. Yeah, we love to get fan interactions here. We have the Clip Keeper inbox, feedback at maxlive.com. I would love to give a shout out to anyone. You know, one of the shout outs, I have some close pals watching. Yeshiva League Pass. Watching once again, a great Instagram account. Follow it for all your Yeshiva League news.
Stebner couldn't follow the basket there. It's an air ball, and now it's Magen David with 5:30 to go. And we'll see how they can set it up. Nasiri, he's definitely the focal point of this offense, the way he can just penetrate and also take shots if need be. He has the ball, and Kritzky falls from nothing, and then it's Mizrahi back out. A 3 by Nasiri. No good. Meyerhoff pulls down the rebound, and here he goes the other way. And they want to slow. That half-court offense of Frisch is definitely better well run than their transition offense. And then Blumenthal cross-court pass to Paul. Kritzky's open in the middle. They're not going to give it to him. It's Stepner now inside. The floater. And it's good. And Stepner shows, well, he's arguably the best player on this team. He's carried them all the way here to the 6th seed, and now Frisch takes the lead again.
Yeah, Magen David looks like they know that as well. A double team coming on that play, but Jack had no troubles getting through that one.
He's really developed such a fine player, such a soft touch near the rim, and now there's a good extension of that as Baraka gives it out. Jajati, then Nasiri. He drives in so quick with the left, and they say that it's off Stepner, and Stepner right away knew that they're going to call it on him, but he thought it was a straight out, and they don't call it that way, and Schoenfeld checks back in for Blumenthal.
Yeah, that's a real team player. He didn't even want the block. I don't exactly know how he could think it was off of them. I'm not sure.
You always try. It's always instinct to try to get the best thing for your team, and he's really a team player, Jack Stepner. Even if it means a little bit of lying, sometimes flopping, not on him per se. And there's a shot by Malay, which can't get Malay into the basket, and it's Jajati. A 3. Oh, he sinks it from way downtown, and it's a bonanza of threes today.
A lot of lefties also for this Magen David Warriors team shooting those threes, along with Nasiri.
Well, Paul decides to take the old-fashioned 2, but he misses, and it's Malay the rebound, and it's 4 minutes to go, and Magen David up 2. Nasiri, oh, a high dribble. Got me a little excited for all the way from the booth, and it's Mizrahi in the post. Jajati again. Oh, he cans it. Raymond Jajati off the bench, and he's got 6 points. 2 straight threes for Magen David, now it's 5.
Frisch wants a timeout, and they get there.
And the Magen David fans, just too much for Frisch to handle, and they're going to need time.
It was like when we used to play NCAA basketball, the crowd started to shake after a couple of big threes. That's what the Magen David Warriors have done in these last 2 possessions. Wide open, really. Not a lot of contests from the Frisch defense.
And it's at 1-3-1 that leaves the threes wide open, and maybe they're going to have to adjust, no?
Yeah, you'd have to assume that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure the coach for Frisch know a little bit more about the Magen David Warriors team than I do.
Yep.
But they clearly did that for a reason. Went into that zone. They've seen this Frisch team. The Frisch has seen this Magen David team multiple times. So you have to wonder.
It could be because these Magen David players are very fast, and they could definitely space it out within the 2-point range. But they're really getting to those wings and canning it, and it might force Frisch to reconsider their defense.
Yeah, just an update around the Sarachek world. I have my sources in SAR for the Tier 2 qualifier.
In Westchester, yeah.
In Westchester? No, SAR.
I don't know.
I think as Westchester and SAR host games on Sunday. Today it's in SAR. TABC Barron, our alum, I don't know what you call that.
Alma mater.
Alma mater, sorry, I knew that.
Yeah.
It's 27-6, TABC.
Well, Kritzky, another 3. Good! No, Kritzky! And he gives himself a little 3 Spurs. And it's a 2-point game. Noam Kritzky's on fire as well. 3 by 3 by 3. Back and forth we go. 2-point lead for Magen David. Jajati. What a name. And he's making a name for himself here with 2 threes as well. And then a 3. Way off. Nasiri the rebound. Back out. Jajati again. Oh! Can anyone stop Raymond Jajati? I certainly can, and neither can Frisch. And then it's off of Koritsky. Magen David ball with 2:48 to go, and his momentum shifting.
Well, I can tell you one thing. The Frisch defense is not shifting well enough.
Ooh.
As that was a wide open 3. Again, an offensive rebound, it's tough. When you get those offensive rebounds, those first, second chance points.
But wow, Magen David, they're feeling it here. Jajati especially, and it's Nasiri who's been so good tonight on the baseline. Back out to Malay, thinks about it, drives in, puts it up. Off mark, and Judge Strulich checks back in, and he gets a rebound right away. And here's Meyerhoff, who's been silent recently. But they give it to Schoenfeld. Schoenfeld penetrates. Koritsky back to Schoenfeld in the corner. Then Strulich, and then Meyerhoff from the top of the key. No good, and Nasiri picks down the rebound. But they're getting the good chances, Frisch. They just got to capitalize. Malay. Nasiri now going to take the wing. Malay going to play some point. It's Mizrahi, back out to Malay. Mizrahi. Throw it a little bit to the Maravi. And then it's Malay, back to Mizrahi. Malay. Nasiri, deep 3, NBA 3. Sign him up, draft him. One and done. Maybe just go straight to the NBA. It's an 8-point lead, but then Koritsky the other way, and he's got 8 points. If you asked me before the game who's going to have the most points for Frisch, I would have loved to say Noam Koritsky. I didn't know what would happen, but it looks like he's doing spectacular. Meyerhoff with 9, Koritsky with 8, and Frisch down 6 with 1:30 to go in the half.
But it's going to start on the defensive end for Frisch. They have not done a good job at all getting up wide open look after wide open look. Looking like they're not in the 1-3-1 anymore. It looks like more like a 3-2 zone.
Well, it makes sense. They're killing them from the top wings.
But then the corners will be open.
Oh, yeah, we'll see how they work. It's Teddy Shama. No good. Mizrahi picks up the rebound. He's been so big for them. Another 3. Oh! Nasiri! He's not serious, Nasiri, and he keeps on hitting. But Strulich back to Koritsky. He's going to get 10 points. No, and Koritsky misses. He could have gotten double digits. But Shama's playing stifling defense, and here comes Magen David running like they like to do. Malay, Mizrahi, he doesn't necessarily like running. It's Jajati inside. And they call a foul. Frustration mounting for Frisch.
I mean, some of these threes have been long range. Nothing you can do about that. But I'm not a coach. But interesting that they're not playing a man defense, Frisch. They must not be confident in their
They're not. And especially,
ability.
And you tell me, you're the expert, you're the color commentator. When you're playing a man, it definitely requires you to exert more effort. And therefore, if you're playing less players, we're only playing 6 guys, maybe you can't afford, like especially against a Magen David fast-paced team, maybe you just can't afford to take the man.
Well, you wonder, Frisch some of these out-of-town schools have less players, less talent. Frisch is a deep team. They have enough guys. The question is if the coaches will trust men 7, 8, and 9 on this team, which seems like the answer is no in this first half.
It's very unfortunate for those guys that are sitting on the bench ready to play. But it's even more unfortunate that Frisch is down, and it's all Meyerhoff. 35.8 seconds left, and Frisch, they just need halftime to come soon.
Yeah, just a thought I got, a flashback I had. I know last year in the semifinals in JV, Frisch played Magen David, and there were a couple of missed free throws by one of the Frisch players, which led to the Magen David win onto their championship. So these teams have played each other the last 2 years in the playoffs, and now this game. It's been mostly Warriors here in the second quarter. Unbelievable shooting.
Unbelievable, and what a display for Magen David. Jajati just coming out of nowhere in my mind. I didn't know who he was, but maybe I should know him. He's going to be a household name after this one. No matter what happens, it's 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Don't get fooled by the Frisch fans. It's Malay now with 2. And it's stolen away. Here's Meyerhoff with 1. At the buzzer. No good. So at the end of one half of play, 16 minutes gone by, 16 minutes to go. It's Magen David, 31, Frisch 21. And we're going to check in with Jacob Dower, who's going to be talking with Ike Dweck at the half.
Coach, way to play in the first half, especially with the three-point ball in the second quarter. What do you got to tell the guys to come out, break the lead open in the third quarter?
Yeah, it's all about intensity. Warriors, intensity. I think most of the important plays, good plays that happen, come off the intensity. When they're lackluster, they can't seem to get themselves into the game. But I think this team with Frisch, it's always back and forth, so I'm sure they'll come back.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
send you to the Step It Up Basketball halftime show after this commercial break.
Welcome to Step It Up.
And we're back here at the Step It Up Basketball halftime show. Frisch, Magen David, Tier 1 quarterfinals. Before we recap how Frisch can step it up in the second half as they are down double digits, I'll talk a little bit about Step It Up Basketball camp led by Yogev Verdugo, former YU Max coach, former Weinbaum basketball coach. If you were watching the first game of the day, that was Cats. And just a little bit about the camp. New location, new facilities in New Jersey. Both of our home states, and we both know it's a short drive over there, around an hour and a half away from all the New York, New Jersey markets, which is huge. You know, it used to be a little farther away. That's a game changer. I can give you another game changer. There will be girls programming this year, a whole new girls camp. Very excited. Two-week to 8-week options. I can tell you one thing that excites me and you, Mike. Can I tell you something that you're going to appreciate? They'll have daily learning and why you guys are coming up to do a Kollel. Let's step it up this year.
Why did they contact me?
That's a good question, but it is going to be great. And, you know, you want to talk about the nitty-gritty details. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but some of these players in this game, guys like Notkin, for Magen David, Meyerhoff for Frisch, assistant coach for Frisch, NYU, Daniel Tamir, is also a big Step It Up member, household name. I could just read you a quote. You want to know Yogev. Who's this Yogev guy, this legend that everyone's talking about? He'll actually be doing the next game, 11:30. Stay tuned for SAR, DRS, as some of the players walk in. Yogev will be on the call, and he'll be able to preach, step it up a little bit more. I could just give you a quote from Elliot Steinmetz, the Skyline Championship Heroes D3.com Coach of the Year. He said, working with Yogev for 2 years was some of the best times I've had coaching basketball. Being able to coach with and learn from someone with so much experience and a drive to constantly get better was invaluable to me. The impact Yogev has had on YU basketball and Jewish basketball as a whole is tremendous. His continued support of our program is something we cherish and appreciate. I was on that Sarachek Shabbaton 2 years ago as a YU student, and they spoke about building this program, Yogev and Elliot. 2 years later, they're the champions of the Skyline, and Yogev has such a big part of that.
Incredible.
So, Step It Up basketball camp. Yeah, that's really all we could say about them. Just so much great things. I could just give you some contact. Now you're like, wow, this place is for me. How do I get in touch? Well, you can either call 888-600-0908 or visit timetostepitup.com. We will be back with a commercial break, recapping the second half, and then bringing you the first half and bringing you the second half coming up next.
Welcome back to the Max Stern Athletic Center, Washington Heights, New York. The Yeshiva League Championship rematch, Frisch and Magen David, and Frisch is down 10. So let's just recap what just happened, what we just saw in a beautiful half of high-powered offenses going at it. Shaq, what's your analysis?
Well, anyone that was watching that first half saw raining threes the whole half for Frisch. It's got to start with defense. Right now, giving up too many easy looks from long range, and again, another one of those problems, I mentioned this in the first half, is they have to rebound. One and done, you mentioned it about Nasiri going to Israel, but for Nasiri, it's going to be, for one and done for Frisch, it's going to be getting that first rebound and then being able to go on offense.
100%, and that's a great analysis. As we start the half, it's going to be Schoenfeld, Meyerhoff, Stevie Paul, Jack Semner, and Judah Strulowitz. And for Magen David, it's Malay, Shama, Nasiri, and Mizrahi. And they call a foul early down to Malay. And Stepner is really emphatic. He's yelling at his guys. He was talking to Judah Strulowitz before about how to go up strong. And here's Judah Strulowitz. He gives it out to Stevie Paul. Let's see what Frisch could do in the beginning of this half. It's Schoenfeld, Stevie Paul. And the good set by Meyerhoff. Hesitates in three. Oh, it's raining. 31-24. Meyerhoff is fourth three of the day as it becomes a matinee. And for Magen David, they're going to try to answer right back. They got to start off strong. They don't want to let Frisch creep in and let the fans get into it. It's the Siri.
We've seen the last couple of years in Sarachek, Frisch going on big runs in terms of winning a lot of games.
And it could start here. Stevie Paul, and they're going to push. It's Meyerhoff. And then he slows. Very good half-court offense team. It's Meyerhoff, top of the key. A lot of movement off the ball. It's Paul in the post, making himself available. Then Schoenfeld thinks about the three. Then Meyerhoff again. No good. But that was a good opportunity. And here's Knockin the other way. Knockin been such a factor, honestly, in this one. It's been Nasiri who's been the guy for Magen David. Malay, Shama, back to Malay. 6:36 to go. Plenty of time for Frisch to step back into it. It's Shama. He drives near the perimeter, and great defense by Frisch. Magen David, they're moving off the ball, and that's a key. As they're in a man, it looks like. And Nasiri, what a athletic play. Unbelievable. And it's a 9-point lead for Magen David. And they took the shot clock all the way down to the wire, and they hit it, and that's big for Magen David. Frisch thought they would get a bit chance, cut it down, and they couldn't, and now it's a 9. I don't see if Frisch can answer. It's Maroff. Oh, an errant pass off of Stepner's hands, and now Nasiri. Nasiri has plenty of room. But then it's defended. Oh, and Maroff falls. No call. Nasiri again takes advantage.
Nasiri has been the best player on this court, and it's not even close. The guy has made every offensive play that he needs. The layup, the three, the spin move. It's all been there for him. And again, he's only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore.
A player that will be a big factor in Sarachek for years to come.
Strulowitz inside. No good. It was strong, but it just couldn't connect. And there they go the other way, but Stepner almost intercepts it. And Shama picks it up. Miss. Big miss. Could have been 13. Let's see if they can be a swing. It's Stevie Paul the other way with strength and speed, and no good, but Strulowitz a strong rebound. Puts it up and in. Judah Strulowitz looks inspired in the beginning of this half.
You wonder on that possession on offense, Shama had no one around him wide open, and he tried to force a fadeaway layup when he probably will regret that decision. And on the other end, Magen David, who's been rebounding very well, did not get that first rebound, and it led to an easy basket for Strulowitz.
Strulowitz, I'm telling you, he looks much stronger, much more confident. He had 2 fouls to start that could have impacted it. And let's see if Frisch can inch back. Strulowitz a steal! Oh, Judah Strulowitz. Unbelievable performance in this half. I'm in love. It's met with his game. Meyerhoff. Now it's Stepner. Double by Magen David, but Strulowitz again. Good pass into Paul. Then Strulowitz pumps. Back out Meyerhoff. He penetrates inside. No good, but Strulowitz another board. And he puts it in! Oh! 4 straight points and a lot more for Judah Strulowitz. And Magen David wants time.
You got to question the rebound. Mizrahi is a big force inside. The coaching is not going to be happy with him, as that was just Strulowitz out hustling Mizrahi under the rim. That was all that was.
Mizrahi, he was so big in so many ways, and now it's Strulowitz who's telling tale in the beginning of this half. And how big is that for Frisch?
Well, I'm still not so confident in Frisch's defense. It just looks like Magen David is the more athletic team, but then at the same time, it's not a team that's just running up and using their speed. They have the skill where on every possession they're going to be able to score at will. Frisch is going to have to do something to change it up, whether they go to a press, but I don't really think that will work. The zone clearly doesn't work. So that's why they don't pay me to coach, but they're going to have to change something in order for this game to, the offense, even the offense, they've gotten a couple of second chance points, but their offense, they haven't looked so crisp, but defensively is really going to start where they're going to have to be able to make life difficult for the Warriors.
Well, it's Judah Strulowitz with that beautiful steal, but you can't always inch up like that. Magen David's speed is just so tricky to defend. They have the speed, they have the athleticism to drive, and they also have the ability to hit from downtown. They have almost everything, and it's been very difficult. It's not that Frisch is a bad defensive team. It's just that Magen David has really been bringing it on offense, and we'll see how they respond. Look at this little press going, and that's interesting. We'll see how that works. It's Raymond Jajati, who was unbelievable in the first half, and let's see where he can pick up where he left off. It's Raymond. And almost stolen by Schoenfeld. He pinched in, but then Jajati again. Oh! Raymond Jajati, there's no answer.
Very questionable defense there. They put a man defense. They put Jack Stepner on him, and he left him wide open to help the best shooter on this court the whole game. That was very questionable as Raymond. Very cool first name.
Everybody loves Raymond. Meyerhoff, then Stevie Paul, and Schoenfeld. He hasn't shot once. It's Strulowitz inside. Another shot, no good. Interesting take. He went around the hoop. And here is Notkin. Notkin, good passing. Nasiri pumps and he just fooled Stepner and he takes a 2. So smooth. I would call him Fat Albert, PHT. Fat Albert Nasiri. It's 12-point lead for Magen David. And Frisch just needs to come back.
I almost had like a prophetic vision there that was going to happen. Magen David they're really much better on offense than Frisch's defense. Frisch's defense really has no answer. They switch into a man there, but that was not a good decision, clearly, as the pump fake wide open this year. He's not a guy that just shoots threes because he's also one of the most athletic players in this game. So every single possession for Magen David has really turned to points.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And, for Frisch, they just seem like they're getting outmatched here, and they're not. I think that they have good skill. It's just that there's been so much of Magen David and just these 6 guys for Frisch. So you just haven't been able to do much.
Yeah. Frisch, they're going to have to, I don't know what they're going to do. It's really, Mike, I'm out of answers. They switch they go for a little full court man-to-man. That doesn't work. They go to that zone defense. It doesn't work at all. Magen David's offense, it really just looks like they're on another level. It's Nasiri and Raymond, the lefties, speed, threes, everything really working for them. Honestly, I can tell you one thing, Mike. Here's going to be a...
Am I ready for this?
I don't know if you're ready for this. The problem with Frisch right now is they have too many big guys on the court. They have too many big guys on the court. It's not working against this Magen David team. Magen David's playing 4 guys that can run with anybody, and right now Frisch just too many guys that aren't going to be able to man up against this Magen David team.
We have an inside scoop at the timeout. They said in the Frisch huddle is don't yell at each other, play like a team. And here's Stevie Paul. It's good. Beautiful 3-man action, the triangle. It was Meyerhoff, Strulowitz, Paul, now it's 10. And that's big. This Frisch team has gone through a lot of struggles. A lot of players have been in and out. Asaf Miller was a player that is no longer with the team, and they've stayed strong. They lost in the championship, but they're a strong team, and that's why they win. They got to score quickly. It's another key for Frisch in the huddle, like they said. They said a lot, and let's see what could happen. It's 3 minutes to go. Plenty of time for Frisch, but they're down 10.
Well, you see Max Meyerhoff face guarding Nasiri on him like glue. A much different change from the last possession.
Shama, he just scrolled by. Too easy. And Schoenfeld, he hasn't been doing much. He's a little too scared to shoot it. We'll see what he can do. Here's Strulowitz.
It's funny you say that because I spoke to one of the players on Frisch, and he told me that Schoenfeld's strictly a defensive specialist.
Right. Well, he got burned on that one, but he is playing very well defensively. And it's interesting as Isaac Blumenthal checks in for Stevie Paul. And it's Nasiri. He looks good. Jajadi, Mizrahi, Notkin, and Shama.
I think that's a great substitution, Mike. As I mentioned there, Blumenthal, what he brings, Strolitz is a great player, but for Magen David, they have too many guys that are too fast and smaller that they would need to go into a smaller lineup.
And they call a late foul, so Stevie Paul to the line with 2:12 to go in the third. Yeah, 100%. Strulitz did provide a lot on the boards, but also you need to start hitting some threes, getting Meyerhoff involved from there. And Meyerhoff, except for that early 3 in the first half, in the second half, hasn't done much from the perimeter. So we'll see if this can space it out. Interesting is Stevie takes a foul shot. That Frisch is huddling. Joe Schwartz is such a good coach, isn't he, Jack?
Yeah, we were there for his first year at the helm when we were seniors. TABC actually beat them in the playoffs. Not going to forget that game anytime soon.
Never.
But he's won his fair share of accolades, trophies, individual and team. As you mentioned, the Sarachek Championship, also the Yeshiva League Championship last year.
He's the only Frisch coach to ever win a Sarachek Championship. Oh! He's out of sorts, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's now Notkin bringing it up with speed all the way. Oh! Denied by Stepner! Don't go into his house without knocking first. And he didn't knock, and he just denied him entry, but it's Magen David ball. It's 2:05 to go. Mizrahi inside. It's a loose ball, and it's picked up by Meyerhoff. Let's see what Frisch can do. Nice behind the back dribble. It's Blumenthal with an easy lane. But he throws it up, and an ill-advised pass, and Shama, and a foul by Paul.
Coach Schwartz's facial expression after that one really said it all.
What was it?
We're not on camera. If we were, a little bit of a hand on the face with some frustration here, as the lead has been comfortably in the hands of the Warriors since the beginning of the second quarter. But again, I'm telling you right now, Mike, that substitution for Frisch is going to be huge. Blumenthal coming in, it makes a big difference on the defensive end.
Oh, again, Zimmer, but this time they say he got a little body. What do you think about that?
From my angle here, it looked like a nice block, but Jack didn't argue much, so maybe there was a little bit of hand.
And we saw earlier in the game, Sebner said that it was out of bounds. You see that he's the MS, whatever, but he knew it there. He was able to accept the call. But Stepner's really been playing big in the last couple of possessions on D. Shama He just didn't look ready to take that shot. And you have all the time in the world. There's no shot clock for a foul shot, technically. He should have been able to take his time, but he missed. It's a 10-point lead for Magen David with 1:45 to go in the third. It's Shama. Teddy. Let's see. He missed again. So maybe Hakashama.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
We'll see. We didn't get a scouting report on his foul shooting. Here's Meyerhoff. And then it's Blumenthal. Koritsky checks in. Almost shot the three he really wanted to. He had a big taiva for that. Meyerhoff. Paul. An open Koritsky. Quick pass back out to Blumenthal, who drives. Then Paul. Top of the key. Meyerhoff thinks about it. Almost stolen away, but Meyerhoff maintains. Drops it down to Koritsky. Then Paul. Nice shot. Good setup. Good ball movement. It's an 8-point game. And whenever it's single digits, you get a little bit more inspired. Here there's the double. Nasiri just rolled past everyone to the hoop.
Unbelievable. You got to question the defense there. You can't give up a layup like that. They came with a double team, but Nasiri, he's just so fast.
So fast, so good. And he's really been the story for Magen David today. And it's Blumenthal, a weird, awkward shot, and he missed. And then Stepner picks it up. What a play. Stepner playing great deep, but on offense, let's see if he could get a spark. It's Paul. Poked away. Stevie on the ground. And that's Sarachek basketball. Meyerhoff for three. Short. But that was a good opportunity. Could have cut it to 7. And here's Magen David the other way. And it's a 30 seconds in this third quarter. Jajati. Shama. Just these names roll off the tongue for me, honestly. Shama. Let's see if they can get it to 12 or 13. Maybe one if they get fouled and only get one shot. We'll see what the prospects are.
Well, there's a 2-second difference, 3-second difference.
They're going to hold for one,
here.
for sure. And here's Nasiri. Plenty of time. Here he goes with 5. Nasiri backs himself up, and then a shot clock violation. Maybe they should put a little more time on the clock. There's 1.3. Maybe give him 2. We'll see.
That might be the first shot clock violation I've been in the gym for today. You don't usually see that in Sarachek. Teams are they're very careful. Jews, they're very careful about these things.
Ashrecha Yisrael.
So usually you don't see them. They like to conserve the time, but on that
Here's
possession,
Blumenthal at the buzzer. Oh, it goes in, but not the hoop. So at the end of the third quarter, Frisch, they're going to try to claw back with their Cougar paws. At the end of 3, it's Magen David 44, Frisch 34.
The Yeshiva University Maccabees are Skyline champions.
My name is Masha Schaller. I am studying English literature and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I decided to come to YU because I want
Welcome back, the YU Stern Max Athletic Center, Max Stern Athletic Center. I'm just so excited for what's going to be a great fourth quarter. Stay with us because you never know. Frisch can always come back. It's 8 minutes, plenty of time. But as you were saying, over break to me, it's going to be harder than it looks for Frisch.
Yeah, they mentioned we have our great producer. We'll give a shout out to the whole staff a little later in the broadcast. But Justin Safier, Frisch alumni, who was at the Frisch DRS semifinal game. Crazy to think. It wasn't even a week ago, that game. Feels like years ago. It was only, for Frisch especially, 3 games in 5 days, or 6 days. No, 5 days, depending how you count the days, if it's included or not. But that Sunday, they were down 6 with under a minute to go, and Jack Stepner hit 2 huge threes, so they're never out of it. But right now, it's going to be tough for them to stop Albert Nasiri, the story of this game.
They're going to need some turbulence. There was that music going in the background as we got to the fourth, and they're going to try to inflict some of that. It's Strulowitz, Paul, Schoenfeld, Stepner, and Meyerhoff for Frisch, and we'll see it's a 10-point game. It's Shama Dama to Jajati. Raymond Jajati been so strong for them today. And let's see what he can do. It's Nasiri, who is in a league of his own tonight. Number 23, repping that number well.
Again, only a sophomore, and he will be working at Step It Up this summer. A lot of good things going for Albert Nasiri.
Maybe a YU prospect. He just gets to the hole. So good. Albert Nasiri, the story.
You wonder, the guy goes to the left every single time, and yet he somehow gets to the left every single time. And that was against Moshe Schoenfeld, their best defender.
Yeah, he's got to step it up. Stebner, a shot, it's good. So he's really not been involved on offense, and they got to get him touches, no?
Yeah, this game is wearing on, and we're waiting for Jack Stebner to be a big factor, and he just hasn't done enough. It's not, I don't even know if it's his fault. He hasn't gotten the ball in.
It's interesting. Stebner likes camping out in the corner, and we haven't really seen him there. I don't know where he's been on offense. We'll see if they adjust that, Frisch. It's 6:55. Time not yet a factor, especially with the shot clock, but let's see Magen David. They could be the factor. Just them keeping on shooting buckets, knocking a three. No good. This is a big possession for them. Let's see what they can do. Could they capitalize? It's a 10-point game. Mara, Paul. And they're calling off ball foul on Jajati. So it's holding on to Stebner, and Stebner is playing a little inspired here.
Well, one thing that we have not said a lot is the foul. Not a lot of fouls in this game, only 5 in the third quarter combined for both teams. So a lot of fouls to give here as this game wears on. That was actually, it's funny, I just mentioned that. It triggered something else in the championship as the game goes on. That Magen David had 3 fouls to give in those last 2.5 minutes, and they ended up fouling on the ground with 2 seconds left at the end of the fourth quarter, which is what took the game into overtime. So fouls to give, a thing to watch in this game.
It definitely is. And another fall of a Frisch player. It's not getting a 3. No good. Mizrahi's all alone, and they call a foul on Blumenthal.
Both threes for Notkin a little bit too strong. Take a look, maybe it's too much working out and step it up. He's too strong for his own good on that three.
So strong, too strong. And it's very hard for Frisch right now. They have all their fans ready to explode, but not much going against such a good Magen David team. And again, this doesn't reflect much about Frisch as much as it does about Magen David just playing out of their minds. From Mizrahi, a 3rd straight foul shot miss for Magen David. They really got to hit those free throws.
And they haven't really looked good at all doing it. You'll see, maybe that's something Frisch can, factor into their strategy. Nasiri we haven't seen at the line, and he's really the guy that's...
Mizrahi short, and a rebound as Noam Koritsky checks in for Frisch. He'll give them some spacing. Merhoff drives in, and it's off of Mizrahi. Good poke. 27 on the shot clock. 6:06 in the game. And time again. Now they can play their regular offense here. But we'll see as it gets closer. Frisch has got to cut it down. They can't just keep on trading buckets with Magen David. They got to start playing a little more authoritatively.
The shot clock has some issues. I don't think it should be at full 35. And they adjust it to 27.
That's a good call. Stevie Paul going to inbound. It's Blumenthal, Koritsky, Meyerhoff, and Stepner.
The free throws have really looked terrible. All 4 free throws, not even close.
They got to work on that. It's such an easy part of the game. You just kick yourself, for missing them. They're just such an opportunity. Good pass by Koritsky to Blumenthal. Then a ill-advised pass. Shama the other way. Koritsky's back on D. Shama, no good. Good D, but Shama picks up his own rebound, and then a cutting. Jajati, no good. Another rebound, but another miss.
That was athleticism at its finest. That jump attempt there from Jajati.
Frisch's defense has been good. Now it needs to be their offense. Koritsky open. Oh! No, Koritsky! So unsung, so underappreciated, and he's got another 3-pointer, and it's a 7-point game.
Every time he gets on the court, he makes a big shot. I see he's single-handedly keeping them in this game.
Noam Koritsky from Teaneck, New Jersey, and he's repping it well here. It's a 5:15 now left, and Magen David up 7. Noam Koritsky falls, and they call a foul on Koritsky.
These Magen David players are really tough to defend. As Mike, hope you're okay there, having some issues.
The play-by-play on my nose, it's full of cold symptoms. But Frisch are going to try to get hot. It's a 7-point game. Magen David 46, Frisch 39. And Jack, you seeing a little something from Frisch that gets exciting just like me?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Nasiri just hasn't touched the ball recently. And and that's really why they haven't been able to score. And the free throws. The free throws are key. When you see Shama going up for the layup, I'd foul him. I'd foul him, make him earn the 2 points. And for Frisch on offense, I don't know if it's they can score. I'm not worried about Frisch scoring. They're going to come out in a full court trap, which they like to do. Unfortunately, it just doesn't work against this Magen David team. Most teams, that's what Frisch does. They intimidate you a little bit. We've seen it over the years. But right now, Magen David, they're not intimidated at all. And it's been giving up open layups. And one of the things that Frisch has to do on offense, Magen David's sitting back in the zone. They've had a lot of tip passes. They got to be more careful with their passing, Frisch, as they've had a lot of passes that have been intercepted and they've turned into points for the other team.
It's a shout-out time. Rabbi Weber's DRS Shear deserve a shout-out. They're in Shear, I guess, but still watching. So that's laudable. That's very important. And we'll see what Magen David does here. Can they answer? Frisch, I'm a little concerned about their offense. They haven't been so comfortable. We'll see if that three sparks something. It's Noam Koritsky, one of the most intense players in Yeshiva League history. And he's playing good defense on Nasiri. Now they switch. It's Shama, Jajadi. And now it's Nasiri.
There's a little three-man weave, getting the right matchup as the man defense, they'll switch.
Frisch is going to want to drive quickly and kick it out. That was what Sam Eisenstadt reports from the Frisch huddle. It's Shama, defended by Koritsky, almost stolen. Koritsky on the ground, picks himself back up. It's Nasiri, a deep three! No good! Stepner can't pick it up. He's flailing. Jajadi's blocked by Paul. But it's back in Magen David possession. It's Nasiri. New shot clock, 28 on the shot clock, 4:30 in the game. That could have been bigger. They would have pulled down that rebound, but they didn't. Now it's Magen David with another try. Nasiri just calming down. This offense is Shama. Shama drives. And a pass that is deflected. I did not see that. My eyes are not what they used to be.
You could tell based on your voice inflection that you were ready for going it the other way, but it was tipped.
Inflection.
Is that the wrong?
I don't know. What does that mean?
The sound of your voice was raised as the excitement level was raised.
Well, I am excited. That's true.
But you would have been even more excited if Frisch got possession.
Well, I just want to see good basketball on both sides. It's Shama.
They just can't play a man defense. They can't play a man defense. Every single time Magen David wants to get to the basket, they do.
Yeah, and they're flailing, but they're still scoring. And it's interesting how they just managed to just put it in. Koritsky. Blumenthal. And a Meyerhoff three. That's his shot. No good. Koritsky fights for the rebound, but doesn't get it. Keeper falls off. Nasir the other way. And a good foul by Stepner. That's a 16th foul.
An intentional foul there. They're not the intentional where you throw up the arms and it's two shots in the ball, but an intentional foul in that a smart foul on the ground, and they'll have to side inbound. And when Nasiri gets in transition, he is almost unstoppable with that unless you foul him. He is so much faster than everyone else.
And Nasiri, so much space. Mizrahi, great D by Blumenthal, but they call a foul. Now that's 17 fouls. Magen David will be in the bonus. This will be two shots because on the shot. But that's something to look forward to. Will Frisch implement that now with 3:40 to go? When does Frisch start getting into panic mode?
Well, right now, I don't know what they're going to do because their defense just isn't up to par at all. That possession, Nasiri was I'm not exaggerating, wide open from 6 feet out. He ended up passing to Mizrahi, who misses another free throw.
That's big. Mizrahi just hasn't been able to hone it in from the line. He's missed 3 straight foul shots.
But it's really been the whole team that hasn't been able to hit free throws. It's just, you watch their game, and they look like, they are incredibly skilled. You put them behind from 8 feet out, and they cannot hit as finally they got the last one to go.
Finally. It's Meyerhoff. Let's see what they can do with 3:30 to go. And a lot of movement by Frisch on offense. You're going to try to find that open man. It's Stevie Paul. Doesn't like shooting the three. Koritsky does. A three. No good, but Paul the rebound. Paul puts it up. No good. Another rebound. And he's fouled. They caught on the ground. But Stevie Paul with good offensive rebounds. And we haven't seen much of that from him, but it's not about the offensive rebounds now. It's not about putting it in the basket. And Frisch does not look like they've been, they're comfortable with it, honestly.
No, it's been Magen David mostly throughout the last 3 quarters. But it's got to start. It's got to start with a couple of points and some defensive stops.
Stebner on the drive. Then Blumenthal. He drives in. He falls. And a steal and wide open Shama. Stebner trailing. And Shama lays it in with 3 minutes to go.
That was a 3-on-1. Shama could have waited there. Passed it off to either one of his buddies, but this Frisch team looks a little deflated here with under 3 to go.
They do, and they got to get some life. It's Meyerhoff on the dribble. And a swarming defense by Magen David with the steal. And a timeout by Magen David. 2:47 to go. And Frisch, they've had so many comebacks. So they have one more in store, potentially the last game of a lot of their careers. They're going to bring it for the last 2:47, Jack, aren't they?
Well, don't forget about Tier 1 consolation games. Their last game, that meaningful game. But, yes, honestly, Mike, since this beginning of the second quarter, I've really had my mind set that Magen David was winning this game by double digits, as they've looked far superior. You know, it really begs the question for me how Frisch was so close to winning the championship. They must have played a really good game on Monday. I was not there, but for Magen David, we can even look forward to their semifinal game on Sunday against either Shalhevet or RASG. Stay tuned, 1 o'clock. Yoshua Zerman will be on the call alongside yours truly. Next, we have SAR against DRS.
Oh, that's going to be an exciting one. That was a quarterfinal matchup in the Yeshiva League. SAR could not win in the greenhouse, and they're going to want to get some vengeance. They had an very, very impressive showing against Barron yesterday, SAR did.
I was on the call for that one. It was a, I don't even know. It's the word that comes after blowout. Blowout wouldn't do the game justice.
Obliteration.
They only scored. Barron was held to 1 point in the fourth quarter, something you don't see very often. While we're here in this timeout, shout out to the clipped Keepa inbox, feedback@maxlive.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, whether you like us, you don't.
I'd love the criticism more than the compliments because we always want to work on ourselves. But I think we're doing a solid job. And they show a full press, and here's Notkin. He slows when he gets across the timeline. A double, a ferocious one, and they call it out of bounds. Frisch ball. 2:41 to go. I got up from my seat. The Frisch fans are still standing, and the players are still standing, but maybe not metaphorically. We'll see if they can get some punches the other way. Here's Stepner. A double by them, and Nasiri pokes it. Here's Nasiri with Mayer up trailing, and a beautiful turnaround layup. He spun around a little 360. It's good, 14-point game. And Frisch, they got to have a little sense of urgency here. It's Karitsky.
The conversation for best player in this tournament has been between Bental and Ryan Terrell. But after today's game, I don't know how you can't throw Albert Nasiri in it. He's just been dominant.
And Teddy Shama, it's a 16-point game. And Joe Schwartz wants time, and Magen David can smell it. They look like they're going to be a semifinal team in the Red Sarachek tournament.
This is the first game of 4 Tier 1 quarterfinals today, but it's a statement win for Magen David. Really a dominant performance, as some would say, from tip to finish. And there'll be 3 other teams playing for the Tier 1 title on Sunday, but I don't know how you can even think Magen David. There's 3 seed, number 1 team from the Yeshiva League. We'll see how Shalhevet and Valley Torah look later on if they even win their both games. Shalhevet plays against Yulo, the rivalry. That's at 2:30 here. But for right now, Magen David, they've got to be up there in conversation. They went undefeated in league play, 14-0 in the Yeshiva League. They won this championship. And right now they
put in their junior lineup. They have 5 guys and Sepner, so that's something. Sepner's going to sit. It's Mehrhoff, Chesner, Daniel Hirsch, Yair Siegel, and Seth Silverman for Frisch. And Magen David keeps their starters. They're going to keep their feet on the pedal.
They don't want you to have to read any more names from
Siegel!
their bench players.
Sulam product. He misses. It's interesting. He's been developed into a nice young star. He might be a factor next year for the first team. And these guys, this is good.
A lot of Sulam products.
Yeah.
Daniel Hirsch.
Evan Chesner from a couple of years back.
Evan Chesner is actually my neighbor, 1 house next to me. No houses in between my house and number 35,
So
Evan Chesner.
If he represents Highgate in a strong way in the last 130, that's a storyline to look for.
Highgate or Hastings Street?
Oh, my God, Hastings. It's been a while. It's a 10 a.m. start, especially if you're on the Pacific. It's a 7 a.m. start. Nasiri, it doesn't matter where he is, on the court, where he's from, he hits. I'm sorry, Jack. It's been so long. It's been way too long. And Silverman, a 3! No good.
The TABC transfer, actually.
He went to TABC. We're not going to say a Benedict Arnold on air, but we did. By not saying it, we're saying it.
1:02 to go in this game. It's been Magen David with the statement win, as you mentioned. The Frisch fans, they came out today. Fortunately for the fans, they missed school. Unfortunately, they couldn't come home with a win.
They couldn't miss school on Monday because that would have been awesome for them. Daniel Tamir talking to his guys. And Magen David, you think they could do it? You think they can win this? It's a classic debate whether Yeshiva League teams are better than the out-of-town teams. You have the highly touted California teams in Valley Torah and shall have it at 1 and 2. But can Magen David pull this off?
You know, TABC beat Barron 71-24, talking about Yeshiva League versus out-of-town. But Valley Torah and Shell, what they tell me, I haven't been to LA. I know Frisch played against Valley Torah in the championship of the Gloverman tournament, and they lost by 2 points. So I think all these teams, they're around in the same league. I know TABC also played Valley Torah and lost by 2 points. Valley Torah had a lot of close wins in that tournament, clearly. But right now, Magen David, a fancy layup.
Victor Braca, that was impressive. But at this point, style points are important. Once the actual points are totally out of consideration, it's 57-39. Magen David with a huge win, and we're excited to see them on Sunday. They don't call it Sarachek Sunday, but they should. Sarachek Monday is the Spitz. And here's a new player in for Frisch. It's Benny Matheson. And it's Hirsch. Related to Hirsch? I don't think so. Hirsch, a 3. Oh! Daniel Hirsch!
You know, he was on my league team back in the 2014 Monty Gim leagues in Cam Morashah, and that was his shot. The corner 3 hasn't changed as the last 4 years have worn on.
Well, good for him. Zarif dribbles it out, and the buzzer sounds, and a Yeshiva League Championship rematch. That same team remains supreme. It's Magen David 57, Frisch 42.
We'll go to a commercial break. We'll be back after this with the post-game interviews. Stay tuned.
The Yeshiva University Maccabees are Skyline champions.
My name is Masha Schaller. I am studying English literature and I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I decided to come to IU because I wanted to find a place that catered to both sides of me, both the side of me that is religious and the side of me that wants a secular education. I wanted to study English literature partly because I just love reading and writing, but I also felt that it's really a major that teaches you how to think, and I feel that it's also a major that shows you how to be a more empathetic person. I knew that I wanted to do a lot of writing and artistic things outside of the classroom as much as I could, so I got involved in the Observer, and last year I was its editor-in-chief, which was a really great experience. And this year I'm one of the editors-in-chief of the Journal of Fine Arts. I'm in the middle of applying for MFA programs right now for a degree in creative writing, and looking back on all the classes that I've taken in the Lit department, I can see how much they've prepared me for grad school.
Welcome back to the post-game show, and we're with Albert Nasiri and Raymond Jajadi, who performed spectacularly today. So we're going to start with Albert. Albert, you played this Frisch team in the championship in Yeshiva League Monday night, and now you play them again. How much does it mean to beat them today in Sarachek?
I mean, it feels so good, finally. We won the championship the other day with a hard battle in overtime. We knew this one was going to be a tough battle. We pulled away. Thank God.
Raymond, question for you. You came off the bench and were hitting threes left and right, especially in the first half. How hard is it for you to come off the bench and just be on fire right from the get-go?
Well, I just put my hard work into the game, and I just put my sweat and the tears and my love into the game, and that's the way I play.
It's unbelievable. And just one more question for you guys. You guys are the ranked the 3 seed. What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Albert. What do you think about that 3 seed ranking? Do you guys think you can take this Sarachek trophy home?
I think if we work hard enough as a team, I think we can bring it home. I think we'll be able to win the Sarachek tournament championship.
What about you, Raymond? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if we put our hard work in it, and if we play like a team, and we put our hard work and effort, then I guess we can just take it home again, just like on Monday.
Well, you guys look excited. We're excited for the semifinals on Sunday. Congratulations, and we'll see you guys play on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you.